For one, I think if you're about to acquire a building, you want to be able to accurately answer what exactly is inside this building. And today, to answer that question, it's really expensive. You would have to hire a few consultants. You would have to hope that they play nicely together. And then when they do the work, you have to then hope that they send you that information in file formats that you and typically non-technical people can actually use and understand. That doesn't exist today, right? So one thing that you should ask is when you're about to acquire a building, one, what is the most efficient way for us to be able to digitize this building so that I can understand my architectural, mechanical, and if it's relevant, furniture and equipment systems in a way where from there I could own that data in file formats that not only my architects, but my broader real estate team could use. That's step one. I'm biased, but you should come to IPX and we can help you do that. Depending on the size of the building and the type of the building, you'll likely need to budget for that just based off size and type, of course. So that's an important consideration. But I would consider budgeting this ahead of an acquisition. And typically it makes sense because if you're presumably going to acquire a commercial building, you're going to go to a bank and you're going to get a loan and you're going to put up some equity and then the bank is going to give you the rest. As part of that rest, you'll have a budget for surveying and other what's called soft costs that you'll have to kind of spend in order to do the proper surveys. Yeah, I'm sure every startup, suggests that they're this entirely new, different service. So I struggle, I guess sometimes I find myself having to speak about this service as just like using a word that people could readily latch onto, like a survey. And even though I know that we're much more advanced than your traditional survey, maybe using that as a starting point, as a way to just suggest we're just a survey. There's a line item in your budget when you're about to acquire a building and, just budget us there. That's essentially kind of how to think about us. We're just kind of a part to a much larger puzzle to your project. But the advantage is that that line item essentially enables everyone, right? As if Brett's the owner and he has a variety of different folks around the table, from his leasing people, architects, engineers, builders. With that digitized information, you can make sure that everyone is starting on the same grounds with the same assumptions, which is going to benefit you immensely if you do this from the beginning, as opposed to finding out after the fact when your construction manager comes back to you and says, hey, those building floor plans that you paid this architect and that engineer to do? We're on the site and that's actually not right. And so it triggers this whole cascade of holy shit, what do we do? And then, unfortunately, you're at the center of paying for all of it. So it makes sense just to digitize your building as soon as you're about to acquire it.